Do they eat people?
What? Who?
Flame Legion, you think they eat people?
What kind of dumb question is that? You sound like you're from Ebonhawk. Do we eat people?
Of course not. We'd get in too much trouble.
I think they just burn folks to death. There'd be nothing to eat but a pile of ash.
Well, welcome back everybody. Took a bit of a break between episodes here to get some shopping in and sort of sort some stuff out for the day, but we're back on Tyrik's Ripjaw in the throngs of a pretty interesting story here. We got a bit of an adventure to go on. So I've dyed myself a little bit more black now. I'm actually using regular black dye, not Abyss or Shadow Abyss dye, not any of the super dark dyes, just regular black dye. And so we look a little bit more edgelordy now, but maybe we look a bit cooler, I don't know. But yeah, so for those who may have missed it, we've got some pretty exciting stuff going on here. We had a pretty intense story to do with our father. I wanted to show you guys something, by the way. In the story journal, when you read, sometimes you get quest items. So in a lot of MMOs, you get like quest items, right, which will appear in your inventory. Maybe you have a tab in your inventory somewhere that's for quest rewards. In this game, they do exist, but they only exist in this element of the user interface, which most people never look at or read. So here, for example, we got that key before. We actually own a key here. This is an item, the iron key used to open cells in the Black Citadel prison. And so yeah, we actually collect these things, right? And maybe in one of the other story steps, we have an item somewhere. But yeah, we do get items, and we'll keep an eye out for them every now and then. But yeah, so for his crimes, our father Valus, last episode, was sentenced to a painful and humiliating execution in the Bane. And I think he deserves better. After I spoke with him and Emma in the stockade, I decided to intervene. Valus didn't deserve the painful death that Emma had planned, so I freed him. Emma could have let him go, but instead she chose to die trying to stop us. Ultimately, Ritlock Brimstone backed my decision. As far as the Tribune, Brimstone, and the Black Citadel are concerned, the matter is closed. So pretty grim end to our story there. And so now we're on chapter 3, okay, so Crystal Corruption. Same year, 1325 AE, we're starting to transition into the bigger parts of the plot now. So Ritlock called me in to promote me to Centurion. Hooray, and we've got our cool new armor to celebrate that now. And to give me a new assignment. The orders of Tyria are on the trail of a necromancer called Risa. Risa may have infected my fallen comrade, Hal the Brazen, because we went to his grave and his body was missing, guys. So Ritlock wanted me to be involved and to join the Order reps at Hal's grave. I met with the representatives from the Vigil, the Order of Whispers, and the Dermond Priory at the grave, but there was no body, just a swarm of undead grubs. Someone took Hal's body and the necromancer's amulet he was buried with. So I decided to work with the Orders to find out who did it and why, and to make sure that they suffer for trifling with my warband. So us and the boys, we're going to take them out and figure out what's going on. But that's going to involve a little bit of a journey here, out of Ascalon altogether. So we're currently in DSR Plateau, and what we're actually doing is, if you look over on the left here, those are the Shiva Peak Mountains. And it is actually our objective to get into them, cross them. We just got attacked by a bear there. Cross them and move on into the far reaches of the world. Getting a little bit closer to Lion's Arch, which I may as well be blunt about this. All the different stories will eventually congregate and coalesce and come together at Lion's Arch, alright? Like, we've heard a lot about that place. We've seen the effects of that place. You remember the Lion's Road when we were playing as a human? Well, guess what we're about to reach here? The Lion's Road once again. And we're going to find the Havens, and we're going to progress along. I did say in the last episode, by the way, too, that I was going to buy some new axes for us so that we can do lots of damage. I wanted to show you what axe offhand looks like. I actually forgot to do that. So, yeah, hopefully we'll find a trading post or something on the way. I think we will. Over there, by the way, a champion's worm. That is an absolutely devastating creature that we should be very careful of. It's a part of the one of the meta events on this map. This area over here, a celebration is underway. This is the celebration called Metoberfest. It's kind of a festival of the Char. And at the time that the Guild Wars 2 story begins, Metoberfest is being celebrated, but there are sort of issues relating to the festival itself, and a helping hand is needed. One of the helping hands that they kind of want us to do is to take out that giant worm. The thing is, meta events quite often are designed to be group events. The idea is lots of players slowly come together doing small events until they fight big bosses and whatnot. And we're alone right now, so we're not going to worry too much. Maybe this scout can tell us a little bit more about what's going on, though. So let's see what he says. Hello, Noble Berryblade.
Welcome to DSR Plateau. Traveling east of the Haven, you'll find a few of our soldiers are on holiday, celebrating Meattoberfest. It's a grand festival where you can eat and drink as much as you want. The only downside to the festival is that it makes us regular targets for separatists. The noise also causes us grief with the dredge. They have a large base of operations north of the festival, and if they're not bothering us here, they're off bothering the miners at the quarry. We'd appreciate any assistance you could offer us. And don't forget to have a good time.
I will try to. I always have a good time when I get in here. So, we just heard about a racer, the Dredge. They are a race, a subterranean race, really. Players of the original game will recognize them, certainly. They're mole people who, 250 years ago, were enslaved and oppressed and punished by the dwarves. But the dwarves aren't around anymore. And so the Dredge are kind of exercising their newfound freedom and being quite oppressive, to be honest. They're quite often an enemy faction in most of these stories. And as we start to interact and interface with the mountains more, which will be very soon, we're going to find more and more Dredge activity going on. We're going to meet quite a lot of new races, actually, as this adventure continues here, guys. Also, by the way, Shaman Purda.
What do you seek?
So this is a Norn, big lady here. She says, Snow Leopard only graces the agile and strong with her gifts. If you can prove yourself, I'll give you her blessing. So the Norn are a powerful, nomadic, individualistic warrior race. This is actually one of the playable races in the game, and here we are speaking to one of their members. They are also shapeshifters, and because she follows Snow Leopard, if we choose to fight her in a brawl to prove our strength to test one another, we'll probably see her turn into the Snow Leopard. So let's do it. Let's try and fight her, shall we? There you go, she did it immediately. I was going to try and interrupt her, but we never managed to. So, yeah, let's see how we do with this fight. Ow. We've got our great sword. My god, she's going to hit us a lot. She's put weakness on us. I just want to summon my banner. There we go, cool. Now that we got our banner, maybe we can make some damage happen here. We really aren't hitting that hard. We have a trait that makes our great sword hit harder, and every time we crit with it now, we get might, which makes us hit even harder, even further still. So there you go. She was a Snow Leopard for a while, but she's been forced out of it now. Now she's got her regular skills back, and hopefully we can just sort of beat her up now that she's a regular Norn again. Oh, no, she's back again. Let's use Shield Bot. There we go, and stop her screeching in our face. Get the nice eviscerate right in for the kills. There you go. Down she goes.
Honor Snow Leopard and be free.
And she looks pretty cool, doesn't she? Obviously, the Char are a huge race too. If I was a human right now, you'd get a much better perspective of how big many of these characters are. But good, so we take our banner. And I think we did fairly well there. That's more hero points, which we can start spending on more things as well. We're going to unlock our elite skills soon. Do you see how it's empty right now? We're going to unlock it soon. So I kind of want to start saving up points so we can maybe get the elite physical skill. Rampage. Take the form of a massive juggernaut. Reduce the damage we take, and we get all kinds of cool stuff from that. So, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, but we'll have to see. For now, though, guys, we're leaving the Char areas for a bit to explore the mountains. It's kind of funny because a lot of the Char stories take you into the mountains, while a lot of the Norn stories, who start in the mountains, can take you into the Char territories. At the end of the day, we are neighbors, and so we interact with one another every now and then. So let's go across. I don't intend to give you a really big detailed look at the Shiva Peak Mountains here. There'll be a lot of stuff in the Shiva Peak Mountains as the story continues. For now, we're mostly just interested in going to get our amulet. One thing that's interesting, though, is if we slowly go downhill here, if we go down south along the Shiva Peaks, eventually we will get to the homeland of the Norn, or one of their homes. A massive, what do I call it? You shouldn't really call it a city, I don't think. Settlement. Let's say with settlement, a place known as Holbrak. Where these giants have all come together in large numbers, which is not particularly a common thing for them. So anyway, out in the freezing climes of the north here, we get all kinds of new things around. We've got these ice elementals, which we're just going to try and run past, because again, it is a bit of a journey. We want to get there in good time. And up here as well, we see some enemy Norn, actually. Those would be the Sons of Svanir. Norn who have fallen to the influence of one of the Elder Dragons. In fact, you see all these horrible looking crystals and things up here, this corruption. This can be associated and related back to the Ice Elder Dragon, Jormag. Because there are multiple dragons out there, and they all threaten the free peoples in different ways. Oh, this guy's down here. So we can kill this elemental to rally this dude who's struggling, this Norn. Let's dodge out of these. There you go. See, and he gets back up because we managed to kill the thing that was threatening him. He's still in a lot of danger, so hopefully he'll be alright as we charge past. There you go. That's the magic of Guild Wars 2 you just saw there, guys. The magic of Guild Wars 2. People just sort of coming together, helping one another. Here's a roadblock. Let's take that out. Saving one another's life. And there, a friendly Char on his adventure just helped a Norn in the middle of his. Pretty cool. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to cut across the very top of this map. As you can see here, this is known as the Wayfarer Foothills, and we've just taken a beeline across because we need to head quite far to the west. So this is Snowden Drifts. This is a bit of a higher level zone. Here we can see a polar bear. This is actually another race. They're called the Coden. They're pretty cool. And before we travel too far off into this map, and we still got a long journey ahead of us, actually, if we come into... And this is the Lion's Road, by the way. Eventually, this connects to Lion's Arch. We can come into this haven here, too. Where we fought that Norn a second ago, that was a haven also. And, yeah, we can interact with the people here and see what's going on. Hello, Elder Suvi. What's up?
The road here used to be filled with traffic going to and from Lion's Arch. But now, even caravans with armed escorts aren't safe. Those sons of Svanir youngsters keep acting up and causing trouble. But the creatures corrupted by Jormag's ice are the greater threat. If you could help the Lion Guard secure and protect the area, I'm sure the spirits would smile upon you.
There you have it. So we hear a little bit more about Jormag himself there and his followers, the Sons of Svanir. So what else have we got? We can maybe speak to this guy. So Lion Guard blinks all the way down on the ground there. There's a sitting down Asura nestled into the corner.
Everything has a place in the Eternal Alchemy.
So the Asura believe in this thing called the Eternal Alchemy. We don't really understand any of that as a Char. Neither do we care to. Excelsior, what brings you to High Pass Haven? I'm looking for adventure. Is that so? Well, things are pretty stable in this haven, but don't let that fool you. There is plenty of danger to be had in the Snowden Drifts, especially if you ignore the detour to the west. Okay, I'd like to know more about this area. What would you like to know? I've been assigned to High Pass Haven for months.
So hungry, I could eat a whole doya.
Oh, that's a child Norn over there. So I've seen a lot on my patrols. So we can say, look, there are many races in the Lion Guard. Why is that? Well, we all come from Lion's Arch, a city that no one race holds claim to. In Lion's Arch, even Grawl or Hylic can join the Lion Guard. One of the major themes of this game is lots of disparate races and peoples coming together to cooperate against a greater threat. And Lion's Arch kind of is the staging ground for that whole theme, really, and the later parts of the plot that really represent that. So yeah, it's a free haven. Why does Lion's Arch care about this road? It's not the road, it's the travelers. By securing roads leading to and from Lion's Arch, we help merchants and traders have access to our markets. What dangers in the west? Jormag's ice claimed a portion of the Lion Road, and one of our havens with it. We've established a camp and a detour, but the area is not as stable as we would like. So, yeah, we're going to have to be careful. That's a road we have to go on very soon, guys, so we've got to watch out carefully. Here you'll see an elemental sprite. This is actually related to a story that we will do much later. It's sort of a more recent addition to the game, so we'll ignore that for now. What else have we got here? The scout we already spoke to. What about you, Lion Guard Florin?
You look like a tough customer.
Oh, I am. Thank you. I look like a tough customer. I think I do too. Welcome to the Haven, protected by the Lion Guard. You should be able to find whatever supplies you want here. Tell me about this place. This haven was designed to defend the road to Lion's Arch, but with all the ice, many travelers are forced to either turn back or brave the side roads. That's rough. Is there anything I can do? Well, I just tried to keep the haven safe these days, but Elder Suvi probably knows more about the areas to fill out. And that's who we just spoke to there, Suvi. So, yeah, let's actually come inside. And you'll notice you get this guy, Trader Jed and Trader Sydney. Both of these guys are trading post merchants. And through them, I can teach you a little bit about the trading post itself. I got a ton of gold waiting for me here from other things I've done outside of this LP. So let's pretend that it's not there for a second. Basically, we've got 69 silver, and this is the marketplace where we can trade with all other players. So here it says, sell your unwanted items and find better prices than anywhere else on a wide variety of things. If you don't find exactly the price you want, you can post an order and we'll try to find a seller at your price. So basically, they connect us to all the other players of the game. They're a company called the Black Lion Trading Company. And for a small fee, they take a commission out of every trade that goes on through this. We get the convenience of having access to basically any item that the developers have allowed to be tradable in all of Guild Wars 2. So, what we do is we click buy items, and a ton of different items appear. And on the left, we can do filters. So what we're in the market for is we want a weapon, don't we? We want weapons, we want axes. And then all we have to do is filter it a little bit, and we just have to say, okay, we want it for our warrior. And we are level 30, right? So let's filter the level range down to level 30. So now...
Heading out? Tread lightly and pack your axles with lard.
What for?
The less noise you make, the less attention you'll draw.
But I'm in business. I want attention.
Not this kind.
Wow, what are they talking about there? Okay, so now we see a list of every single tradable level 30 axe in the game. And so yeah, we'll just pick whichever ones we think looks good. A lot of them are quite cheap, obviously. So how about we take this one that gives us power and ferocity. So extra crit damage and extra just regular damage. That sounds pretty good. Let's buy 2 of these. So we can buy 2. We can either put in an order of our own. For 1 silver, like 36, we can offer a little bit more money than this guy did, or we can buy from someone who's currently selling. These all represent actual players who all play the game, and they all have they're flipping various items trying to earn a profit. They're basically being vendors themselves. So we're just going to buy 2 of these axes. And voila, there you go. Now we can collect them. We also happen to collect the 80 gold I got from off the series, which I'll deposit into my bank later, so don't worry about that too much. But there you go, that's the trading post. That's how it works. And forevermore on this LP, whenever I use the trading post, I'll probably cut out me actually interacting with it, because it's probably a bit boring to watch. But I did want to show you at least once how it functions. So we'll open our inventory here, and you'll notice now we've got 1 axe. And somewhere else we should have another axe. Because we did buy 2, didn't we?
So hungry?
I can type axe up here. Here you go. And then we get another one. So equip 1 in the main hand, 1 in the offhand. Beautiful. And we could have done that through our hero panel as well, by the way. So there you go. So axe. And then in this set, we'll keep our greatsword. And then what we'll do as well is we'll skin these axes to look like adamant guard ones. Because that's the skin set we're using at the moment, right? And it really is as easy as that. I could also use the trading post at this point to buy all kinds of upgrades for my gear, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I don't think that's too important. For now, I'm just happy to have my dual-wielding axes and to look like a badass. There's this staircase up here as well. Let's go up here and see what we want to do here. Alright, we just get a nicer view of the area. Again, if we were going to be gliding or using our mounts and things, maybe we could use that height for our advantage, but I guess we won't. Alright, so let's move on. Let's kill an owl for absolutely no reason other than apparently I hate owls. And yeah, we'll charge along. So these lion guards do, and some Norn, they actually do patrol the road. Here's a little guy. He says, if you're heading to Snowden Drifts, mind the detour signs. Jormag's corruption has taken over the main road, the Lion Road, but we have a safe camp. So what do we want to do, guys? Do we want to take the detour? Or do we want to just keep trying to follow the road and brute force? So the road goes off on the right, and you can see some of the corruption over there. And there are some scary enemies. Or we could go south along the detour. It looks like both roads in general lead to where we want to go, so it's just our choice. Let's take the detour. I'm not brave enough to go the main way. Let's take the detour. It'll take a little bit longer, but we might meet some interesting guys. There's a mercenary captain. He says, this snow is ridiculous. I don't know why the Norn choose to live like this. Oh, he's a human. I hate snow too. Where are you headed? We're headed for a job in Lion's Arch. I don't know the details, but that's probably for the best. As the pay is good, I follow my orders. Ah, you mercenaries then? Aye, Lion's Arch is a good source of income for us. What with all the merchants, tradesmen, and ne'er-do-wells that may have a need of an armed escort. But first, we have to get there. I guess that's proving your own mettle, right? To actually make it through. So we'll follow the detour. We got some brewers on the road, some workers. I like this a whole lot because Guild Wars 1, a huge part of the story, was traveling across the Shiva Peaks. And it's fun because if you play as a child this time, who were the antagonists, the reason you fled across the Shiva Peaks in the original game, you kind of get to have that experience again here in Guild Wars 2. Of course, you could just rush past and not speak to any of these NPCs, and it doesn't quite feel as epic as it did in the original game, but it's still pretty cool. So another guide here, I'm sure he'd say this a similar thing as before. More brewers moving along. And here, look, there's a little Norn outpost here that the Lion Guards have probably set up some supplies here en route just so that their detour works a bit better. Okay, yeah, like we got a merchant here. In fact, I'll tell you what, guys, we haven't actually sold anything. You
break it, I break you.
At all in this series on this character. So let's come over here. Let's oh, we got so much stuff. Hold on, let's just salvage, right? So we got our crude salvage kit. We will sell. Oh, but then we might salvage our old weapons. Never mind. I guess I'll leave it for now because I don't know what I want to salvage. We can buy some stuff though. So there's a leather bag we can buy. So we can buy this and equip it. Actually, we can't because we're already full up on bags. Never mind with that then. By the way, I changed my inventory user interface a little bit just to show you guys. Before, I had it all showing like this as one big block. But I decided to toggle on show bag so you can actually see this leather bag is here. This is what's in this leather bag. this is what's in this leather bag. And you can, like, turn them on and off if you like, right? The most recent bag we got was this. It's called an invisible bag. And what happens with an invisible bag is any item we drag and drop into it, it will disappear from a vendor sell list. So, for example, up here, we can see this mighty adamant axe, right? And it appears for sale. But if I move it into the invisible box, it disappears from the sale list. So if there's anything you know you never want to sell, right? Like these adamant weapons, actually, right? If I never want to sell these, I can put those in the invisible bag, the things I really care about. And now, whenever I go to a vendor, so you go, our range of weapons there, we don't want to sell any of those. Now I know that everything that's here at the vendor is stuff that I'm okay with selling. Old armor that I'm okay with selling, you know, and so on and so forth. So we can just get rid of all of that, or we could salvage it all. So that's a nice little tip you can do. There's actually loads in the game to do with bags and stuff like that, but I guess we don't have to worry about that too much. Let's deposit all those as well. All right, we look a bit clearer now. Good. There's also, by the way, for sale, you see we get these copper harvesting sickle, copper logging axe, copper mining pick. Well, now that we're getting to slightly higher level areas, we can get stronger versions of these. So here's an iron harvesting sickle, an iron logging axe, an iron mining pick. So we can grab these and replace the old ones that the game sort of gave us for free just from leveling up. And you can see they actually get a lot more uses as well. Each of these has 100 uses. Okay, and the old ones we can just delete and get rid of later. So there you have it. There's armor repairs here as well. If we'd been dying in the series so far, we might want to use that to fix our armor up as it gets damaged and broken, but we don't have to worry too much just yet. Alright, following the detour along even further. It looks like there's another branch in the road and another scout. I think we want to go that way up towards that, but let's have a quick look here.
Long ago, after we came south, Jormag turned on the spirits and took Owl from us. She once protected this land, nurturing all under her powerful, silent wings. Now we're all that's left to protect the land in Owl's stead. But a deathly chill is coming over Snowden Drifts, and we few cannot stop it by ourselves.
So that won't make too much sense to us, but it's very much to do with how the Norn view the world and what they believe in. They believe in animal spirits that guided them from their original homeland far up north, way beyond any of the playable space in the game right now, all the way up here, right? And before the events of this game, they were sort of all forced to flee to the south because of the ice dragon. And in their fleeing, they say that their spirits led them to this place. They led them to the southern Shiva Peaks. They led them to Holbrack and, you know, guided them. And one of their spirits, Owl, was actually lost in that. And so there's actually an area on this map that you can go to where you'll see sort of where they used to worship Owl. Here, by the way, check it out. There's a deputy from the Lion Guard, it seems. I'm here on official business, she says. Move along before I throw you in a cell. But you'll notice she's got an interesting icon on her head. This is actually to do with guilds. If you have a guild in Guild Wars 2, you can unlock special missions around the world. And one of those special missions is a bounty to kill her. You find out that she's actually up to no good and you can try and take her out. So we're not in a guild. We're not doing that stuff. It's not really relevant for the main campaign right now, but interesting to talk about nonetheless. All right, so we're sort of back on the road-ish now. Bits creepy. Here we go. So here's a polar bear man. This is a Kodan. We could speak to him. Oh, we're in combat though. Who's that that's fighting us? It's a wolf. Let's take the wolf out. So wolves will howl to summon allies if we take too long to fight them. So we want to kill him nice and quick. Not that we are killing him very quick. There you go. He's howling now. Ah, he summoned an ally right at the last moment. There you go. 100 blades. Always good with 100 blades. Hey, Mr. Kodan.
When Jormag appeared, he drove many creatures to the south to find refuge. The voice of Coda led us here to Song of Final Exile. We are not the only ones. The Quaggan town of Urgulb is also made up of refugees from the north. It is easy for problems and conflicts to arise when dealing with this kind of transition, and there are many that could use a helping hand.
So you're probably getting an impression now. We're hearing about all these races. Quaggan, Kodan, there's loads of stuff going on. Do we have a moment? No, we don't. We want to go do our quest. Sorry, we don't have a moment. You're probably, you know, you're getting an impression now of just the vast amount of world building and different things that go on in Tyria, as we've just now entered another new region and there's a load of new stuff to learn. I'll try not to overwhelm you guys with it, though. Moving further west, we're actually getting a little bit closer to where we want now. Seems like there's some kind of a caravan that's moving along the road here. Big old Dolyak there. and they seem to have been attacked and killed. So if we revive this, the event will continue, and we could help these guys in the world. There's a Silvari trader here. This length of road is really cool. It's so busy. Everybody's walking up and down it all the time. It's really nice. So yeah, they'll probably get attacked again. We could talk to them and ask them about what's in their shipment and their supplies and stuff, but we gotta go fast, guys. We're like Sonic. We've gotta go fast. There's a worker over there as well. Alright, it looks like our personal story is actually going to be just up ahead here. If you look at the compass, we're getting really close to it. There's another scout, another haven. I think that we're going to find out that that building over there, that haven, is where the undead were attacking, where an amulet was, and it's fallen. So let's quickly speak to this guy who's rebuilding their wagon. You alright, man?
Grawl spooked my Doliac and stole the potions I was transporting. My escort, Glennis, went north to recover the stolen shipment.
Interesting that she had a shipment of potions. Potions were a mechanic in this game a long time ago that was changed before release even. You used to actually have mana and a mana bar, and you could buy different potions to recharge. It was a mechanic the devs moved away from when the community expressed negative feedback to that. But anyway, so cool. We are here. Undead infestation in the mountains. Christ, so one of these amulets that an old warband member of ours had was also here? God, how many amulets are there, and how far spread are they? So, hey, Clawspur. Looking forward to killing stuff, he says. You and me both. Anything that gets between us and finding Hal dies. Where is Hal? Did he really die? Crusader Garn, how's it going, man? So this is the Vigil, remember? We agreed to their plan.
It's worse than I thought. The Haven's already crawling with undead creatures. We need to clean them out.
Agreed. But what about the amulet?
It's easier to search a dead body that isn't moving. Let's go.
Alright, I sort of agree with that. I sort of understand what you mean. It doesn't look good. Let's hope our new axes see us through this. And I can show you our new abilities as well from them. Okay, cool. So do you have anything else to say, Garn? He says, don't know how many undead you've put down, soldier, but if you haven't had much practice, here's your chance to catch up. To solve this mystery, I'd kill anything. Living, dead, undead, or inanimate. We don't really have much practice. None of the races really fight many undead. None of the races really interact with the Elder Dragon of Death, except one. And it's a race we've heard and seen very little of in this series so far.
I've been waiting for you.
Alright, they're going in. They're going for it. God, I love the way that the game looks in these snowy areas with the nice dark areas. The Vigil look really cool as well, don't they? Very badass. Who knows? Maybe we'll look like that one day. Okay, so there's a big boss here. Sagem the Foul. He has a cloud of flies around him. They are blood flies that damage his foes and heal him. So that's pretty interesting. Necromancers in this game get something similar. Oh my god, we just charged miles away. So let's get to our axe. Let's balls rush in and check out our dual-wielding axes. So, the first one on our offhand is Dual Strike. We hit him twice with both axes at once. And then we give ourselves a new boon you guys haven't seen yet. It's called Quickness. And Quickness means we do everything faster. Swiftness is run around faster. Quickness is we attack faster, which is super cool. So we can Dual Strike, if you guys watch. And then when we start doing our autos and stuff and we eviscerate really quickly. So Dual Strike is super good. It hits really hard, it hits twice, and it gives us Quickness. Then you have the skill 5. Whirling Axe. Spin around and damage nearby foes. And we can move while spinning. Look at this. Look at this Whirling Axe. Whirling Axe is awesome. And of course, you might then realize the wombo combo is to give ourselves Quickness and then use Whirling Axe immediately afterwards. So we become this super fast spinning tornado of doom that then we can eviscerate people afterwards, right? So here, I'll show you what it looks like here. And we hit everyone around us as we do this. It's really, really, really cool. Let's get that banner down. Oh my god, all of the Vigil have been dying as I've been messing around just trying to show you these skills. Oh god, we've actually got to do a lot of damage. There's a lot of flies around. Oh, it's really hard to see actually as well. That's one of the problems with playing Char. It's like, there's always such a... the combat always looks really messy because there's tons of allies around all the time.
That shambling bag of bones is wearing something.
Oh, he's wearing something.
Not over.
Could that be the amulet? Maybe. Oh my god, look at all these bodies. So we can res these people. The Vigil are coming in here. Is that because they're still undead to fight up here? Let's have a look. Let's follow and trust them. Oh my god, there are. There's a lot of undead up here. What? Oh my lord. Alright, well, it's fine. We can rip them to pieces. We've got loads of AoE now.
Kill them all.
We can stomp. Boom. Oh, there's something so cinematic about fighting on the mountain edge, at the top of a haven on the mountain edge out in the snow, killing undead that have been drawn here because of a mysterious amulet. Awesome. Okay, they're all dead. Haven's cleared out. Good stuff. Look at that bridge over there as well. That bridge can actually get destroyed in a dynamic event as well. It appeared in like the first trailer for the game. Are the answers we seek here?
This amulet of Rissa's was able to summon more than just undead grubs. I don't like this. Hal's grave was empty. He could be out there right now, leading an undead attack on some other haven.
Maybe, but right now, our top priority is to get this amulet back to the Citadel. The sooner we understand how it works, the better.
Agreed. With all 3 orders pitching in to study the amulet, we can figure out how to destroy it, or at least deactivate it.
Studying is for scholars and spies. They can do whatever they like with Rissa's amulet after we secure it someplace where it won't cause any more trouble.
I kind of agree with that, right? Like, we don't want to take this amulet and bait an undead attack into a vulnerable area, right? That would be terrible. So, there you go. That's the haven defended. We will leave and go back out into the open world now. Now, one thing that's really important to do if you guys are playing alongside me, at this point, if you do play a char, make sure in the open world you actually run along and you come into the haven itself. Because if at this point, you notice on the top right, it says we're going to regroup back at the Black Citadel. If you just immediately leave without coming to it, you won't get this waypoint after you've saved the place and everyone's alive again.
You should hear this.
Oh, really? Hello?
There are a lot of travelers like
Yeah, it looks like there are. Did you hear? The Sons of Svanir destroyed the bridge. Engineer Lorraine is already starting to work on the rebuild effort. I want to help. Where should I go? Oh, so that bridge I showed you guys has actually been destroyed. Make sure you get that waypoint there. Because if you don't, you might have to do a huge amount of this journey again as the story continues to take us further across the Shiva Peaks.
The bridge is in shambles. We need wood to fix it, and fast. You guys up to the task?
Yes!
You know it.
Count me in.
All right, then head out to the woods. I'll get things ready for construction. And be careful.
Look at that. So we could actually help them rebuild the bridge there if we follow them out into the woods. Unfortunately, we have other plans and other adventures to go on. Just make sure you get the Haven waypoint. Cool. Let's go back on to our home instance. And again, do you remember what I actually said a long while ago about the game and the way it's structured? Because waypoints exist, the main campaign is happy to have you flip backwards and forwards constantly across massive distances, and now you're starting to see a little bit of that, right? Like here with the char stuff. A lot of the other things have been local, and we could imagine playing the game without using waypoints for that pure immersive experience, but eventually it just gets a bit ridiculous. All right, so back to the home instance. We're actually finally going to go inside.
My old Farrar. Nearly all gone now.
Nothing like having a few minutes to stretch, admire the view, and reload.
Wow, so that old soldier was lamenting the loss of all of her old warband. By the way, the outfits that a lot of these like casual regular char wear, there was a recent update to the game that allowed players to look exactly like that too. And I'm thinking of doing it, but they're quite expensive items, so I might get them eventually, and we might see that on the LP. But for now, I'll wear regular armor, I think. Okay, so yeah, this is a huge room, by the way. You can climb really high up in it. There's not too much interesting up there. But yeah, we got all these places. This is the barracks.
The German Priory is looking forward to working with the Citadel on this, Tribune.
As is the Order of Whispers. The dragons want us to come at them individually. That's why we should do it.
Glad to have you both aboard. We're going to need reliable information from here on. Not to sell the Vigil short. Their firepower is always an asset.
No need to flatter me, Tribune. I know research isn't the Vigil's strong suit. As long as what we're doing eventually leads to the dragons, we don't mind taking a back seat. Temporarily.
Okay, so before we chose to help the Vigil out, but it seems like they're going to be pretty useless now because they don't seem to have the smarts to know what to do with this amulet. But it's good that they're considering cooperation now. If they can overcome that and start cooperating, the three of them could counterbalance one another's strengths and really find a way to take the fight to the Elder Dragons. But let's see. So, Ritlock, what's up, man?
Reporting in, Tribune. We have one of the Necromancer's amulets. Now we just need to figure out how to deal with it.
Top Priory researchers are standing by to determine how the amulet works, and more importantly, how to neutralize it.
My sources say the Inquest has already completed their research on one of these amulets. Why waste time repeating their efforts when we could just acquire their results?
I don't trust the Inquest methodology. This is too important not to handle ourselves the right way.
You scholars and spies know more about the right way to collect data. The Vigil will be standing by when there's action to be taken.
It's your call, Centurion. Do you want to assist the Order of Whispers retrieval mission, or the Priory research effort?
So the choices come pretty quick now. We get to make these decisions very fast. Ritlock won't chip in. Gan doesn't have too much to offer here. He says, I hate to leave you to the likes of Yarla and Kurakan, but their idea of mission prep is a waste of our time and yours. Let me know when you're ready for action. All right, okay. I'm always ready. If you want us to get along, you'll remember that. Oh, God, we could be such a douche. I love it. He has no response either to us there. All right, so what do you guys think here? So, what's your plan?
Who's the target?
He says, the Inquest is evil, but their resources are immense. Acquiring their research lets us access it while denying it to them. It's flawless. Are you with us? So the Inquest are a faction of Asura that are particularly without scruples. And it is a pretty good plan. It's like a double whammy. We get it and they don't. So what about this over here, though? Inquest research, she says, cannot be trusted any more than the Inquest itself can be. For reliable, trustworthy methods, the Priory is primed and ready. Let us take this one. So this is like a riskier choice, right? Because if the Inquest can be trusted, we get like a double win. Or we can sort of take it slow and easy and go with the Priory. I think since we're a ferocious personality, we're probably more interested in going after the Inquest, right? So let's join up with the Order of Whispers on this one. The Inquest is evil. And you guys don't know much about the Inquest just yet? But all in due time, I suppose. This will be our introduction. I like the way you think, Blacksmith. I'll work with you in your Order of Whispers. We get a choice of a new weapon. I guess mace? We haven't seen maces yet. I'm going to get a new rifle, actually.
All done.
I think I'd rather have a new rifle. Rifles are cool. So we'll do that for now. And we got to level up. And guess what? They just gave us an axe. So these axes are really interesting, right? They all have a different sigil on them. So as we get closer to level 80 and the end of the game, what you'll realize is the best upgrades for weapons are called sigils. And the best upgrades for armor are runes. And so we're seeing some very weak sigils here, but sigils nonetheless. So these axes, this axe has a sigil of water, which means we get a 10% chance while we're attacking people to heal, which is kind of cool, and heal everyone around us. We've got a sigil of earth, which is a 30% chance to bleed, or this is probably the coolest one, a sigil of fire. A 50% chance when we score a critical hit that will trigger a flame blast for area of effect damage. So I'm definitely going to take this axe here. This axe is cool. Kind of invalidates the one we just bought off the trading post, but whatever. Let's equip it. Let's get rid of this old one as well. And let's put a cool skin on it as well. Maybe not a Legionnaire skin. Let's put another one on. Here, let's make it a molten axe because it's got a sigil of fire on it. So we'll make it a molten axe. Look at this thing. It looks badass, doesn't it? Super fiery and intense. So yeah, let's do it that way. And now we know which axe is going to be doing fiery explosions and which one won't.
Our engineering advances. Worship of anything, even technology, is utter madness.
That's really cool dialogue. That's really good because the Char is so scared of worshipping anything. So as the Iron Legions start getting more and more technologically capable, which they really have been in recent years. I mean, look around us, right? I can understand them starting to be fearful of that. All right, cool. So yeah, we're going to deal with the Inquest. The story step, as you'll see already, is way out in the Shiva Peaks again. And guess what? Fairly close to the Haven. So it all works out pretty well, right, guys? Ugh. I love it when a plan comes together. So we grab the waypoint. Who knows? They might have rebuilt that bridge by now as well. Let's go have a look out here. And now that we're level 31, oh, we did just unlock our elite skill. Okay, this is going to be pretty exciting. Right, as we walk towards, is it built? Let's have a look. Did they finish building the bridge? It doesn't look like it, does it? It looks like the bridge is completely still destroyed. That's fine, because I don't actually think we need to cross the bridge. I think we want to come down this this branch of the road over here. Do you see this one? We're going to come down here. So, elite skill. We can spend hero points to learn new elite skills, but we don't have enough right now because we've only got 13 unspent, right? So, they're quite expensive. However, we do get to start off with some. So, first of all, there's the Mistfire Wolf. This is... You remember that ring I had equipped, the Heroes Band? This is a special reward for people who back in 2012 bought a special edition of the game. It's a pretty elite skill, but it's really not useful for anything. It's not a very good elite skill. So I guess this will be the first one we use. We'll show this off right at the start of the series. And then we'll start doing some other special ones later, okay? We also have 3 other ones unlocked. They are all char-based elite skills. Unfortunately, there's not any, like, fun way to acquire these. They're not locked behind quests. You don't go capture them from enemies and bosses like you did in the original game. They just hand it to you on a plate, which, again, is stuff that I don't necessarily agree with. But people want stuff fast, they want it quick, and they want it easy in MMOs, let's be real. So, yeah, you do get to start off with a load of them, and we'll just rotate through them, and we'll see how we feel. Including being able to summon our warband allies anywhere we want, getting a Char Bazooka, or being able to conjure an artillery barrage anywhere we like. They're very fun skills. So, let's continue our story for now. Digging up answers. I love this concept art. I think this looks so good. So, here's an old abandoned mine here.
If this Koro-Khan were less chatty, I'd want him around permanently.
Where apparently the Asura have been researching the amulets. Interesting stuff. I guess we will go in there and see what we've got next time. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Can't wait to show off these elite skills. We'll be back shortly. God, doesn't that look just so good and tempting to go in there? Oof.
Is this war with the Flame Legion ever going to end?
Doesn't end until they're all dead. What, you want to become a farmer or something?
Balefire thinks he's some kind of god. Some freaks from How hard can it be fighting a lunatic?
Never underestimate fanatics. They do the unexpected, and they never give up. And we're not just fighting Flame Legion. We got Separatists to the south, we got Dragon Spawn freaks swarming out of the Brand.
Like I said, it's gonna be easy. It's a target-rich environment. Looks like Winter's Day came early this year.
Here's forward, soldier. Never know what's out there.
Nothing, but I'm ready.
I doubt it. Cub could sneak up on you.
Well, a cub would crush you.
Okay, save the insults for sparring. Plenty of time for that later.